Welcome to Analytics with Nags, and this is the another video for premium per user licensing advantages, where one of the future you will get is like deployment pipeline, which is a functional name is application lifecycle management. So what is this, and what are the benefits you will get when you have a deployment pipeline? Let us check it out in this video. If you're new to this channel, hit the subscribe button and press the bell icon for notification. So these are the different features that you will get for Power BI premium per user license compared with Pro, and this video focusing on application lifecycle management, that is deployment pipeline. For those who don't know about deployment pipeline or application lifecycle management, the software development process involves in the following phase, right? Which is let me zoom out because my text is shrinking. The software development involves, this is the full cycle, like planning, development, and once the development is fine, it is completed, it will be deployed in testing, then finally it will be deployed in production. So there will be three environments typically maintained. In case of Power BI services, and once you develop the Power BI report, it is always deployed in a Power BI services before this ALM feature is introduced. So there is no place where people can test the report or consider it as a final version of it. So whatever deployed in the Power BI services, that stays as the final version. So people try to create V1, V2, V3 with different namings, and then whenever it is finalized, then they will consider it as a proper naming. So that is not a proper way of doing it. So there should be a way that Power BI reports, once it is deployed in a development environment, and then once it is developed, it should be moved to testing, and some of the test users should test it. And once it is tested, it has to move. And this process is very complex process in any software industry or any application. Moving between the artifacts is very difficult. With help of deployment pipelines, this process is very simplified, and let us try to check it out in this video. We are in Power BI services now, and as we are aware, this is the non-premium capacity workspace, where you do not find any option called deployment pipelines, whereas premium capacity, you can see the create pipeline, which is nothing but application lifecycle management, which is the functional name of deployment pipelines. You can go by creating it here or over here. Once you have deployment pipelines, you can start creating here. So all the pipelines you have created will appear under here, but it is assigned to, this pipeline is assigned to one of the workspace. That is why that workspace should have a premium capacity. That is why when you go to any of the premium workspace over here, you will get this option. Where is that? Come on. Create pipelines. That's fine. So let us go by creating a pipeline. So let us give one name, like deployment of your this is like entire workspace you are going to deploy. So deployment of sales, right? Sales related reports or any functional area based on the workspace you have created. Okay, deployment pipeline. Create it. Then what you need to do is, you need to assign a workspace. So assign a workspace. I have this workspace, which is at the premium capacity. You can only assign one workspace to a pipeline. So it is specific to one pipeline, is specific to one workspace. And you can choose what is this whatever you deployed initially, what is that, whether it is a development environment, a testing, or production. And we will go by default, which is development phase, and just assign it. Workspace include unsupported item. The workspace can be assigned, however, when the workspace is deployed to another stage items won't deploy to the next stage. The workspace contain following items. So basically the data flows is not part of your deployment pipelines. That is what it is saying. It is absolutely fine. Whatever can be moved to your deployment pipelines, we can go for it. So these are the things you should know. There are certain limitations. We will check it out later. Now you can see here what are the things it deployed, like development, right? So now you can have the overall feature over here. What are the things you can use it in deployment pipelines? So one of the thing is data sets, and another thing is your reports, and this is your dashboard. So these are the total things, the three things you can move between different objects. So once it is done, so it is similar to over here, like we have planned and everything developed and you are deployed here. And moving from here to here, typically in a software, any application you take, moving from here to here, it's very complex because you maintain different environments and artifacts. Whatever code you do has to be carefully moved. This is the process usually followed. But in case of Power BI, you just do the deploy here, right? During deployment and support, it's the same warning, and you can see the changes are moving to your test environment. This is the thing I want to highlight. So once it is moved, then you can see what are the things you are changing it in development, whether that also compares it, try to compare both the environments and sees like any difference between development and testing. So let us wait for testing to complete. It is moving all the objects like 3 data sets and reports and 1 dashboard. It is moving to test environment all together in a one single click. You can see your content was deployed to the test stage workspace. You can now go to the workspace to view the content. You can go and see here the one, it is nothing but now what you are trying to see is like whatever you deployed here, right? It is maintained like another folder. You can see another workspace is created with the same workspace name test over here. So all your contents from your executive workspace, which is considered as development workspace, I need to remove the filters. I will clear all. So all these objects, okay, are moved into another workspace. Like it will be stored as a box. So this is the process I said. So now you have this is one box, and this will be another box. Basically, box in the sense the server will be different, the objects will be different, everything together to be different. In typical any other application, in case of data warehouse or any application you take, this is the process. Now in case of Power BI, this is with a simple handling of your pipelines, it is handled here. So now we have created test, right? Well, let us try to edit it. I mean to say the continue to create the production workspace, right? So you need to move this to production. You can click on deploy again. So in this case, what happens, another workspace will be created for executive dashboard with the name of production. Yeah, you can see it here. So this is the concept behind the deployment pipelines, where you will have a different workspaces to handle different environments. And while it is deploying, I just want to have another thing like, so in your development environment, and people usually use different source systems. Say for example, you have this is deployed in production. Now what I'm trying to make is like, so the development will connect to your sources, and the test reports should point to the testing databases, right? So this is the typical architecture people will follow. So you can do the changes connection over here. What it says, use the deployment settings to define how your content is updated when you deploy to the stage. Then you can create the deployment rules, create the rules you want applied when deploying to the stage. Select an item to create and do the rules. when you click on this, you can create rules defining parameter values and data sources for this dataset. So you can add a rule to change your data source connections. So this is, I will leave it with you. Just this is the thing you need to understand to ensure how you can think about dynamically changing the connections, right? So this is how, this is the place you can change the connections. Now once the report get changed here, let us try to take one of the report over here in the executive dashboard workspace. The report is loan disbursement analysis, and I will try to edit it. And what happens, how the changes will be moved. So I'm not editing anything in the desktop. I'm trying to edit this report in this particular Power BI service itself. Like I'm trying to filter two of the records, and the page is added here, the empty page. I will try to remove it. It is not required basically. So this is the correction I have made. Now one of the report got changed, right? I'm saving it. It got saved in the development environment. Now go and check it in the deployment pipeline for the sales. Now you can see here, out of 4 reports, right? One of the report, the loan disbursement analysis, which is not matching with your testing environment, whereas the report in testing and production remains same. Because why? Because I've removed one of the page from here, so it's tried to compare any metadata change to the report, right? So it is not comparing the data, right? It is trying to compare the any structural changes to your reports. So once I changed, I want to do the deployment again. So you need to click on deploy, and again it's same warning because of the data flows. You just press deploy. In this case, it is trying to deploy the changes. I hope it will deploy only what has changed. Now this is synced, like the first phase your the report is synced between development and testing now, and testing and production it's not sync. So once people verify it here, now you did the change, someone has to do the analysis, like from the testing workspace, right? I mean to say executive dashboard test workspace. From this you create app, give rights, everything follows the same how you do it for workspace and rights. So here people will verify the report, then they say once, until they say okay, you will not deploy anything here. Then they verify everything okay here, then you need to come here, just click on deploy. That will deploy the changes over here. This is the thing you need to understand between development, testing, how you move it. So this process is very difficult if you are not having this deployment pipelines. It will be a nightmare for people to move between different objects, and especially thanks to the Power BI team for having this feature. This is the advantages you will get when you have a premium per user, that is deployment pipelines. If you like this video, hit the thumbs up button and comment below for queries. Do remember that data is your asset.